Hi, I'm Fart Smacker. I am the creator of Tales from the Gutter. I'm also a voice actor, a writer. I'm also a storyboard artist, a regular artist, and an editor on the show. I kind of do a lot. I really enjoy being able to put everything together.
This is Spirit Wars. I've been a writer on Tales from the Gutter since episode 4. I've worked on a few of the episodes and also on the remake of the second episode that we're doing right now.
Hi, I'm Banty. I'm a storyboard artist, voice actor, animator, and writer on Tales from the Gutter.
I'm K Studios HQ, but you can just call me KJ, and I work on animation and some storyboards on the show.
My name's Limpdick92, and I'm an actor on Tales from the Gutter.
Tales from the Gutter is kind of hard to explain, but basically how I have it set up in the series synopsis is, what if a lot of awful degenerates coagulated and just formed a single town? And while not all of the characters are assholes, the ones that are just more fun to write for, so that's why there's more asshole characters than there are normal characters.
Tales from the Gutter is just highlighting absolutely some of the dumbest and worst people in society and just kind of making episodes around that kind of stuff. Not to the point where you hate all of them. It's more like they're bad people in a funny way. But it has gotten more exaggerated as it's gone on. Our first few episodes is people putting their fetish into kids' cartoons. Hey, an addiction with shipping real life people. And then episode 5 is just straight up oh, hey, this guy, he's got bionic arms. Yeah, and he can't stop grabbing babies. It's funny though. It's become a lot more funny. It already was really funny, but I think that Farts brought it in a really good direction.
For me, Tales from the Gutter is kind of like Family Guy humor with Looney Tunes type of scenarios. These are characters that you can kind of put into any situation, any time period, and it just works because these are characters that you can really just do anything with.
Tales from the Gutter, to me, is like a little anthology series where every little episode is its own self-contained story. But the thing is that all of the characters are just the most cynical assholes I've ever seen, and it makes it all the more better.
So Tales from the Gutter is basically if you get a bunch of bitch asses and you put them together and, it sucks. The show is awful. But, I needed the money, so.
My favorite part about working on the show is being able to do all the different types of voices that help make people laugh. Sometimes I could do this voice, sometimes I could do this voice. Yeah, sometimes I could do this voice, and sometimes I could do this voice, a lot of different voices, and I think that's really funny. I do really wish we could get more voice actors on the show, but, we're making do with what we have, and I'm what we have, so, yeah.
Just a collaborative writing process, being able to work with Fart, who always has some really funny lines. Ozrudo too. Kuki had some really good lines. AFE did too. All the writers are really funny people and good friends of mine. So, just being able to write with everyone on the team is just, it's great.
My favorite part about working on Tales from the Gutter is probably voice acting. I voiced a couple characters.
I did String.
And I did Matthew Littlemore. And those were fun things to do.
One of my favorite parts about working on the show is just, seeing everything come together. I'm gonna be honest, my role is not as involved as some of the other animators, artists, and, writers, voice actors, and all that. But, when I get to observe it come together, especially with the pieces that I did contribute, it's, nice.
My favorite part is just being able to talk about myself and, talk about my show, Epic Shit, which is, a lot more better than this garbage.
My favorite character at the moment is the Ritzpitz guy, because he has this whole mental deterioration aspect going on where in episode 1, he's just a writer who likes to fuck Ritzpitz. But by episode 7, he's just wearing a Ritzpitz box around him like he's one with the Ritzpitz, and, that's really funny, and I can't wait for season 2 to come around, too. where we can explore how far gone he can really go.
That's a loaded question. If you don't say Olympic 92, like, come on. Come on, he did the gallon smashing challenge, man. He's the best character on the show.
I don't really have a favorite character, but I do enjoy, like I said earlier, I do enjoy voicing characters, so I guess any character that I get to voice is always a good time.
My favorite character is Limp Dick 69. He has a funny name, and I like that he juggles babies into basketball hoops. On the soft spot.
My favorite character, I would say, is my character, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that one dude with the ears in episode 3, I'd fuck them.
My favorite episode would have to be episode 5. I think that's when we really hit our stride as like a team, and we're able to create something that we think is really funny. And I do like all the episodes beforehand, I like all the episodes after, but episode 5, we just really hit a chord where we're like, this is what Tales from the Gutter is all about.
I think my favorite's gotta be Bionic Depravity. That one's just really good. Really good episode all around. It was a really fun one to write. It's not just because I wrote on it. I mean, there's other people who put really good lines in there, and the boarding team has done a really good job on these episodes, especially Kooky and Chicken Nugget, who are great artists in their own right.
My favorite episode is probably Bionic Depravity, just because it's a really funny episode, not much else to say.
I think one of my favorite episodes so far has been the remakes of episodes 1 and 3.
Anyway,
They have just really snappy comedy timing, and I just love the way that the fucking characters
I had to do it.
react to one another. And with 3 specifically, I like the animation bits involving the cartoon review. I enjoyed doing my Zaz Solar bit. I did that part. I did the voice and the Zaz Solar. I did that. That was me. That was fun.
From China.
But yeah.
So I'm a vagina.
Those are some of my favorite episodes. I really like the comedic timing, and fucking Ritz bits is so fucking funny.
These are my favorites. Chicken salad. The turkey at the
There's
counter.
just a lot of just really funny jokes in episode 1, and I could spend all day listing them out, but if I did that, I would be taking up more time than I could chew. I'm already doing that.
You know, my favorite episode, obviously, Bionic Depravity. It's about me. I love me, so...
My favorite aspect about working on the show is just putting all of our talents together and creating something that not just we enjoy, but other people as well. And I really, really hope more people get to see Tales from the Gutter and, you know, love it just as much as we do while making it.
I don't know. I like how just kind of off the rails this show goes. Like, I feel like the whole mentality behind this show is funny comes first. And, you know, stuff, you can see that in stuff like Bionic Depravity and Cartoon Review Time Epic. Those are really funny episodes. And I think it's really good. I think poking fun at little things in society and making light of them while also kind of being like, yeah, this is awful and you probably shouldn't do this. I think it's great. I think it's a great structure for a show.
One of my favorite aspects about the show is probably the art style. It's very simple and appealing to look at.
One of my favorite aspects of the show is the fact that all of the characters are like cynical assholes who bounce off of each other in the most comedic ways possible. They all have really nice comedic timing, and the jokes like land 90% of the time because of the way they're delivered and just the way that these characters basically just don't respect each other ever.
What aspect of the show do I like the most? Being able to talk about myself and epic shit. Doing all the pranks I like to do, like throwing milk onto the floor, killing babies.
What's it like working with me? I have autism, depression, anxiety. None of those things really work hand in hand with one another. I also go through really bad burnout sometimes, especially when I'm working on an episode back to back, but I make it work, and I have fun.
He burned down the office a couple days ago, and yeah, my wallet was in there, so I'm not very happy about that. But other than that, it's good. It's good. Fart's a very, very good guy. He knows what he's doing with this show. He has his own sense of style. He's got his own visual direction, and he knows what kinds of jokes and what kinds of stories he wants to tell. He's the glue that holds everything together on this.
Working with Fart is always a good time. He's a funny person, he's a talented person, and he's overall a nice person, which is the most important thing out of all of them. So, I think if you're working with him, you're gonna have a good time.
Working with Fart Smacker is like, if I were to describe it, it's like he has this nonchalant, you guys can do this whenever type feeling, but at the same time, you feel that he's like dedicated to the craft. You know that he's dedicated to making Tales of the Gutter. I don't know if I'll be able to talk about this, but he had a series called like The Comical Adventures of Comic, which, was more of a main character type thing, and he didn't really like it. And went on to start making Tales of the Gutter with, like, characters that he doesn't have to think about reusing often. He liked that more. So he's able to come up with more ideas and just, like, run with it, as opposed to thinking about, like, overarching stories for all of the characters. And I think that's really cool, cool aspect of working with someone.
What's it like working with Fart Smacker? Dude's a little stupid. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get the humor in the show. And I don't like how in episode 5 they kind of paint me in the wrong. So, fuck him.
You should. I definitely do not have 2 pairs of boxing gloves, a camcorder, and a sign that says, Old People Boxing, pay $20 for admission. No, you can trust me.
He burned down the office. What do you want me to say?
No, I don't trust Fart in the nursing home at all. He told me he likes to push old ladies down the stairs.
I'm gonna do it again.
Now, would I trust him at my local nursing home? I don't know. I'm scared.
Would I trust him at my local nursing home? I'm not allowed at the nursing home anymore. I kind of threw wine at an old person's face.
Season 2, I kind of really just want to see the show become more animated. For Season 1, we did an animatic approach, and while we do have some animated bits, animation isn't really the core focus of the show. So when Season 2 rolls around, I kind of really want to do Rocky and Bullwinkle type animation for it, because I think that would be the best way to go from, like, still images to actual animation and whatnot.
That's actually tough because, I think we're in a really good direction with Season 1 of the show. But I hope Season 2 continues more of that same vein. I do hope we continue, like, ramping it up. Like, we don't lose sight of our original vision, of course, but we continue to make it more exaggeratingly funny. Maybe bring back a couple characters along the way. Not too much. We don't want to rely on old characters. But, it would be cool to see some of the old characters pop up from here and there.
For me, I hope Season 2 can be funnier, because I do think there are moments in Season 1 where things can get a little slow and not be super funny. So I hope Season 2 can up the comedy a bit.
I think I've already been confirmed this piece of information, but, like, just having more animation, Like, he said it'll be limited animation, which, I'm fine with. As long as it's in some sort of motion, which, always great.
What do you hope Season 2 does? Obviously, I hope Season 2, and make an episode where I am the winner and everyone else is the loser.